This is Pat from Rain Country Homestead, and here is another Heidi dilemma. She has purchased some string, some sewing string for her treadle machine, and this is where the bobbin or the spool of thread goes. If I can get this up one-handed. Oh, push it down. The thread goes on like so, and it's supposed to rest back on that little shelf. Well, as you can see, it's too tall. So I have to do one of two things. I have to either take a little bit off of that little white piece here. I have to take a little bit off of that, and she marked the line where she needs that cut. And she also needs it cut on the bottom side. But I may be able to rebuild this little wire. It's made out of real stiff metal. I think what I'm going to try to do is remove this little piece here and build another one of these wire holders here. Rebuild this, make a new one of, let's see, let me back up here a little bit, make a new one of these, or figure out a way to extend this one so it can accommodate that taller spool of thread for Heidi's treadle machine. So I'll take those two Phillips screws off of there and go out to the shop and look through all my junk and see what I can come up with. I remove this spool of thread holder off the back of her treadle machine, off of Heidi's treadle machine, and of course, again, this doesn't fit on there, so I have to either cut this off, trim the ends of these on each one of the spools that she's purchased, or I can make her another one of these. Now I can build this in such a way that it would sit next to it on the back side of the machine, and that way if she ever wanted to use this one again, it would still be there, it wouldn't get lost, etc., etc. And the new one that I'm thinking about building here is got this old piece of angle iron, an old bed frame, and I've got this little piece of stock that I butchered from something, but I'll clean this up and I'll thread it. I'll cut it off here at the line. What'll happen is it'll sit like that, and then it'll sit on top of this like so. The little angled piece in there, a guy can use for screwing this into the top of this. What I'll do is I'll break out the tap and die set and drill a hole in here and tap this and take a die and put threads on this so it can screw into the top of this, and then this thing can just sit right on top of there like so. And then on the back side here, I'll drill some new mounting holes to go on the back side of the treadle machine, and so I'll have to tap new holes in the back side of that as well. So that's the plan. I'm not like some of you fancy machinists out there. I don't have a set of micrometers or anything, so I just kind of eyeball stuff as I go along. And I have a tap here, or a die. See, what is it? It's a size 24, and it seems to fit nicely around here, around this stock here. I'm going to go ahead and give this a try, see if it'll go on. If that's the case, I'll get the tap to match, and then I'll drill a hole and put it in this. I'll put it in this little piece of angle. Okay, so this was a size 24 die, and this is a size 24 tap, English. So now I have to drill a hole in this little piece of angle iron here to accommodate this new post. We'll sit in the top of this. So we'll get started going on that. I'll have to get set up on the drill press to tap a hole in here, and then at the same time I'll tap some holes on the back side for support. What I'll also do is I'll cut this off. I'll go ahead and cut this off right here to get rid of a lot of this surface area here, and that'll get rid of that hole. And then I'll clean all this up and I'll paint it so it's going to be nice and clean. This up a little bit here, cut the excess off the bottom, good flat top. We're going to be drilling a 17/64 hole in, well, not exactly the center. I want to step this off away from the machine a little bit, so I'll put it a little closer to the edge, maybe within about a 3/4 of an inch, ½ inch maybe, 5/8, something like that. And then I will go ahead and tap it with this threading tap. Okay, and in my little screw pile, nuts and bolts and spare parts, I found a couple of little machine screws that will work perfectly for the back side of that little bracket. And so, in order to figure out I don't have any thread gauge or anything like that, so what I did is I went through my die set and found the die that matches the threads on the machine screw here, and that fits right in there. It screws right in, and so I figured out that this was a 8/32, or number 8. This tap here, it's also an 8/32. It requires a drill number 29. Match the threads with the machine screw and drill the hole accordingly. So get to tapping here. Okay. I got my 17/64 hole drilled in the top for this post. I've got the right tap to accommodate these threads here. have Mama run this thing and see if it will go ahead and travel in the machine properly. And looking, I was hoping to make this in such a way that I can leave both of these mounts or holders on here at the same time and not have to remove one or the other. But if she has to, she could probably just take this back off, and this, it won't interfere with this one here, but I'm hoping that this one here will travel okay over to where this thing has to be threaded in here just right in order to you know, make everything work okay. Because anyways, that's something beyond my expertise, but this spool here, it looks like it will actually rub just a little bit on this other spool here, but I don't think it's going to hurt anything. I think it's going to travel okay crossed over there to this little eye. And if she goes to change yarn or string, she can just run this over there and thread this one. When she's not using it, she can just throw it to the back and should be okay. But we'll let her give it a try and see how it works out.
Now I'll have to rethread.